Local sports update. Jag VP Tony Vaselli looks for players who rise to the standard in the first preseason game.
The overall physicality, it's a standard we set. This is who we are. This is something we got to do every day.
Jacksonville Syracuse got washed out in the 5th on Thursday. The Shrimp up. They'll pick it back up today at 5:05 with a 7-inning nightcap about 30 minutes after the finish. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 84 degrees at 10:03, time and 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
We're trading up in the draft. We're moving from pick 5 to pick 2, and we're doing it because you're the one we've been hunting up.
Yes, sir. That's the best decision.
And with the second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Hunter, wide receiver, defensive back from Colorado.
Travis Hunter, he embodies belief, right? He's a rare person. He's a rare player, but he's also a reminder that the boundaries of the game of football were built to be challenged.
Dropping is Trevor. Fires it deep downfield. That ball's caught by Travis Hunter. He's into the end zone. Touchdown.
He has the craziest conditioning of any athlete I've ever been around. Like that, he doesn't get tired. He doesn't sweat. It's kind of crazy. But he loves football. Football, fishing. I mean, that's what he does.
And Lawrence is going to throw a pass for Hunter. Did he hold on to that one at the 35? Two-way Heisman star hauls it in for 28.
I think people kind of forgot that he's on our team because he got hurt, and when we started really clicking, he wasn't on the field and he was injured. But think about having him. That's going to be back next year. Both sides of the ball. He's such a key player. I mean, he's going to be a huge help for our team.
Beautiful maneuver. It's Hunter making his first big play. Boy, puts him in the spin cycle, and Hunter makes the catch.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and RJ Saunders.
All right, welcome in. Happy Friday, everybody. Jaguars Today off and rolling to wrap up the week. Well, not the Jaguars week. That, of course, continues tomorrow with a bunch of backups playing against the New Orleans Saints backups, mostly in preseason week number 1. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning.
Tom McManus, hello.
Morning. Happy Friday, man.
Happy Friday.
Yeah. Feeling good. Got my 1010XL button-down shirt on.
That's very nice.
My wife always feels like I'm the outdoorsman when I wear this, and she knows I'm not.
Is that right?
Yeah. She's like, oh, the good old boy shirt you got on today. Yeah, she just thinks it looks like a hunting and fishing type shirt.
Is that right? Well, I'll invite people to tune into the stream today and let us know what you think of Tom's shirt.
Nice and soft.
I've got
Comfy.
one. Still has the tag on it. Haven't
broken it out yet.
I have not broken it out yet.
It looks good with a guinea tee, too. I don't have one on, but,
All right.
the wife beater.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have one on. Normally, I wear one because of the sweat. You sweat so much out there, Mike.
Some do.
You don't?
Oh, no, at times, but,
At times.
Well, I mean,
like you don't go out, like when it's ultra hot, you don't go outside and start sweating eventually?
What? I don't go outside a whole lot right now. I'm not, in the
Walking
kind
to
of in
your
that
car,
mode.
getting in your car?
Yeah, it's not that long a walk.
Car? You don't sweat at all in the car? No, I know, but it
it
takes a minute for it to get going.
Yeah, it's so ludicrously hot outside.
Man, I hit it right away.
I ran out to go get something to eat yesterday afternoon. I'm coming back into the neighborhood at the house, and there's a guy just sitting on the sidewalk out by the gate.
Yeah.
Right, and I could tell he had been on a walk or something, and he just found some shade. Like I can tell he's at the point in the walk he just needs some shade.
Needs some shade.
And the girl he was walking with is kind of standing there with him. And I made sure while I was pulling in to make eye contact just to say, do you need a ride?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I know it's hot.
Yeah.
Like, it's to that point. Have you taken on more than you could chew in whatever physical exercise you decide to get into? And I got the thumbs up from it. I'm like, all right, cool. But I was ready to help out.
I took out the garbage to the curb the other day. I got glisten on the forearms. I don't know. Maybe you're not a sweater.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, and I think with all the rain the day before, like it's humid enough here always anyway, but it was
the sun's been
yesterday.
Here's the good news for the audience. After this thrilling conversation for the last 90 seconds, we won't have to hear the answer when Liam Coen got asked in his press conference yesterday, how's this Heat compared to the Jacksonville Heat? Like, really? That's what we're doing? That's the question you want to ask.
It's hot and wet.
Yeah. It's hot there. It's hot here. It's hot everywhere. Let's move on to the scrimmage.
We decided to build our cities on swamps. You know, like we have to deal with it.
Or the joint practice or whatever they're called. So Tony, how do you feel based on, we weren't there. Brian Sexton's going to join us here in less than 15 minutes. He was there, so he'll give us his impressions of it. Based on what you've heard and seen, how do you feel the Jags did yesterday?
I think the offense got beat up in the first half of practice and played really well in the back half of practice. Doing red zone was generally how I felt about it with the way that people were reacting to it. I thought defensively they couldn't cover Chris Olave
at all.
Like it didn't sound like, and whoever was responsible for that kind of thing, it just didn't happen for him on that side of the ball. Those kind of practices are always weird. Like you hear the thing with, one of their guys claiming he had half a dozen sacks, right? Like, okay, whatever that means. So you were around the quarterback half a dozen times. Congratulations. I don't know why you'd even keep track of that kind of thing in your own head. I don't know what the Jaguars guys were doing in that regard. I told you, I was watching it while we were on yesterday, and the guy that was running the camera, wherever he was at the Saints practice, he was on the side where I was watching the Jags defense versus the Saints offense. And I can understand why he would rather watch that, if he's going to choose one side of the field or the other. And when I was watching, I thought the Jags pass rush was actually getting the job done.
Yeah.
Right? Like just in a little bit that I saw, but they don't get to hit the quarterback, so you don't know, and plays get to continue in that kind of environment. I did think, the Jacoby clip that the Jaguars put up, it's a great play.
In the end zone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Like
Throw and catch.
Right. Like the whole thing is great. And that was right in the middle of whatever they did in the first half, all the reports were the offense was kind of getting their tail kicked. By the Saints defense in the early part of practice. But once they came out with whatever that break was, I think both teams did a special teams session, and then they went back to the 11-on-11, and it sounded like the Jags were good, after they came out of that break.
Yeah, and the red zone was good. I want to hear how the 2-minute went, because I read on the Saints side this morning that their defense felt really good against our offense in the 2-minute. They held them without a score.
Well, they picked off Trevor on the very first play of team as well.
That was team, early.
Right, early. So I if I'm going to pick a winner or a loser just based on reports, I think the Saints had the better day. That's my impression of it. And this is from a variety of sources, right? And I get it. Sometimes the local guys are going to want to, fluff up the home team
wasn't that bad?
Kind of situation. We'll find out. Brian Sexton will join us here coming up in a few minutes.
I think both D-lines were strong yesterday. I think their D-line was tough to handle. I think our D-line was tough to handle. And that's when you don't know. Like, you're not hitting the QB. You're letting up after a couple steps. You know what I mean? A step. You're not, like, running through them type thing. You don't know if you get – I mean, look, by the way, I thought Travis's coverage on Olave and that one that he went for it and missed the interception. I thought he was right on coverage. It was a great play. It was a great throw. Put it up high.
Might have been a sack on that play.
That's what I was getting at. Like, you look at Trayvon, it's like he's running by him with nobody near him.
Yeah, that's what Trayvon kind of slid on by, and it's like that meme of the kid where the one where they're like, oh, and then the guy's sliding by, and there's Trayvon just going by in the background. Like I could have done that. I could have exactly. I could have done any of that I wanted to. All right, let's set it up for today. Our Jaguars today question of the day presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. Knowing that most of the starters are not going to be playing tomorrow, who are the players, a player or more than one, that you're looking forward to seeing compete tomorrow against the New Orleans Saints? That'll be our focus for part of the show today. We'll hear Liam Coen's comments after practice yesterday. Brian Sexton coming up. He was boots on the ground and continues to be in New Orleans in anticipation for the preseason opener. If you want to be a part of the program today, 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines or on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can stream us on YouTube, X, Facebook, 92.5 and 1010XL apps. I said it backwards, RJ, but it still works. And I was shown yesterday. I didn't realize this. You guys know this? When you go on your phone now and you go on like the 1010XL app, you see the stream. You see the show in addition to hearing it on that stream as well. Yeah, so you don't have to be on YouTube or Twitter. So there are a lot of ways to See how handsome we are right now. And
I showered this morning, too.
Yeah, or you can just listen to the radio and not look at us. That's fine as well. That's totally acceptable. Find us on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at Meathead55, and at RHas No J. See? No J.
No
Nothing.
J. You couldn't hear it.
This is a clank off the rim right there.
It's one of my favorite parts.
Delayed impact.
Technology, I get tired of a lot.
Yeah, the volume button's a tricky one.
No. I had the volume button up. That's the problem. That's why I'm talking about the technology here.
Okay. I was watching his hands. I don't know.
No,
if I
had
agree
to
with
do.
that.
Yeah, I had to do it manually because normally I just put it in next gen where the commercials are. I just hit play. And it played. Why it didn't
RJ
this
is
time?
legitimately
Don't know.
He's upset.
Right
He's
now.
upset right now.
Legitimately.
Listen, I told him that shirt's worth much more money today than it was a few days ago.
Oh, it is.
The Lakers shirt.
The Lakers shirt. I think the valuation is that's got to be
Hit
worth.
me up, Iger. I need about $12 billion.
12. Yeah, well, that's probably worth about $12 now. That Lakers shirt.
Yeah,
I would think
instead of 4.
Instead, way up.
Yeah,
it's gone way up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's some kind of scheme going on out there in Los Angeles. They're washing money out there in Los Angeles.
It went up $2.5 billion, 14 months
in a year, right?
Like, in a year.
Yeah,
1 year. How does that work on paper?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying, Mike?
I don't know, Tom.
You know,
that's way above my business expertise level. All right, the longtime voice of the Jags, now senior correspondent at Jaguars.com, Brian Sexton, joins us out of the break to discuss what he saw in yesterday's joint practice with the New Orleans Saints. Liam Coen and a lot more to come on the program today. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
What is this place?
1010XL.
Wow, you're kidding, right? Wow.
This is awesome. Where wow happens every day.
Flame Broiler has a new limited time favorite, Korean short ribs. They marinate tender boneless short ribs in the Lee family authentic Korean kalbi recipe. Charbroil them for smoky flavor. Then top them with tangy sweet cucumber kimchi. Enjoy them in a bowl or on a plate. Order today in store or on the Flame Broiler app before they're gone. Flame Broiler, Korean short ribs. Limited time only. Order now on the Flame Broiler app or stop in today. But don't wait. Korean short ribs are only here for a limited time.
This is Jaguars Today Friday. Brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Order up. At Fair and Farah, people see the 5-star reviews. What they don't see is the prep, the investigators at the scene, the evidence we dig up, the depositions that get to the truth. When a client's been hurt in a crash, we build the case and we put pressure on the insurance company until they take it seriously. That's the system we've built at Fair and Farah. After 45 years, we're still hungry. Fair and Farah, still cooking.
Jacksonville. Attention contractors. Stop wasting time dealing with permits yourself. Use PermitRockstar.com. Their permitting platform helps contractors cut permitting delays by up to 80%. Stop waiting and start building with PermitRockstar.com.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious?
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
Hey, Hicken here. I want to talk skin along with my friends at Peaches Dermatology, reminding you to wear your sunscreen. Football season is back, baby. And with that, days under that bright sun. So when you load up that truck for the game day tailgate, or the chairs for your kids' flag games, or even the boat heading downtown to watch our Jags, make sure you bring the screen. Sunscreen, that is. It's a must here in Duval. But if you have any concerns right now, give Beaches Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com.
What is the only NFL team that has never had a game end in a tie? The answer next.
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The only NFL team that has never had a tie game. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
Open early and open late. Dailies is always there, making things easy for you to cruise in and cruise out. So hit Dailies Cold Case the next time you're craving a cold one. Bud Light by the case, plus plenty of singles to choose from. Corona, to the king of beers, to Stella or a Natty. They're all cold at Dailies.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, what's bothering you, pal?
You know me, Jason. I'm a by-the-book kind of guy.
Oh, I know.
I drive the speed limit. I take my vitamins.
Sort your socks alphabetically by color.
Blue comes before brown, Jason. We aren't heathens.
But something's got you bothered.
It's not you, Jason, but there are some other companies in your business that have people pretty upset for doing things, you know, a little sketchy.
I know.
And when people get scammed, well, it looks bad on you, too.
So let me make things better for everyone. Here, put on these sunglasses.
Whoa.
If you're worried you called the wrong company and might be paying too much or getting work done you really don't need, call us for a free second opinion.
For free? Just to make people feel better?
Life can get pretty expensive sometimes. If you worry about spending money you don't really need to, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farrah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Number 55 in the middle, he's Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
All right, Jaguars Today on this Friday morning. We take you live to the Big Easy. Brian Sexton, senior correspondent for Jaguars.com. He'll be calling the games in the preseason on television, as has been his habit in recent years, and look forward to working with him on the pre- and post-game shows throughout the season once again. Brian, good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Mike, I'm great. How are you?
Doing very well on our end. We'll be doing better if you give us some good news and reflection. I'm going to start with a very basic question. All right. If you had to pick a winner, which team had the better day yesterday in the joint practice?
You know, and it's just New Orleans. I thought that the Saints, they won some things up front. They confused the Jaguars' offensive line early. Liam Coen talked about it in his post-practice news conference. He said that they started early and they weren't very good and they grinded through it and they got better. I know there was some frustration on the left side of the offensive line. Chase Young got the better of Anton Harrison. And remember now, you're talking about Harrison moving from the right side where they always wondered whether he would play consistent football. He had moments and flashes. His talent is undeniable. And they move him to the left side now. That's the blind side of your quarterback. Now you really have to have a consistent performance from him week in and week out, and that trust is something that's earned. And yesterday, Chase Young got the better of Anton Harrison. Ezra Cleveland didn't have a really great day, especially early on. So they wanted more from the left side. That kind of influenced the timing of the passing game. It got better. It did. But up front, early, the Saints got the better of it. I didn't spend much time, Mike, on the defensive side. There was just so much going on in such a confined space, in such a limited amount of time. I spent most of my time looking at the offense.
Coaches spent the entire offseason, Brian, talking about the run game and needing to find improvement there. How did that look to you, their first time playing against an opponent here for the 2026 season?
That was better, I thought. They got out there and made some creases for Bashal Tutin. Let me tell you something. Chris Rodriguez was not a household name in North Florida when they signed him in free agency back in March. He will be by the end of the first month of the season. He's for real. The way that he takes the ball and explodes into contact. He's also got better hips for a big guy than I thought, which for the average viewer means they can move side to side. I think he's going to be terrific. We saw the 4.28 speed of Bashal Tutin a couple moments in yesterday's practice. I think the running game is going to be markedly better this year. Again, consistent throughout 17 weeks. It was really good early and faded late, and that's what they're trying to change. The running game was better than the passing game on the offensive side.
Hey, Brian, great to talk to you, my friend. Hey,
Tommy,
how did practice go, like, as far as structure? I know they had their team periods. Did they do one-on-ones? How many team periods? I know they finished with 2 minutes, but how did that whole thing shake down?
Well, see, the thing that I love, and I know where you're going because I know what you look for, is that pass rush party, right? You want to see the mano-a-mano, line up and let's see you go. And they didn't do that yesterday.
Okay.
They had a 50-play script for the offense on both sides, right?
Wow.
So the defense, which is huge, kind of tells you what they were trying to get out of this, the live reps. And just to kind of go back real quick, one of the things that confused the offensive line, the left side wasn't the only issue. They had Wyatt Milan had trouble passing some things off. The Saints ran some twists and things that they hadn't seen, and they struggled to adjust to it early. So speed was what they were trying to get to. They were trying to run a lot of plays because you heard Liam talk about his team's conditioning after the mock game last Friday, wanted to see that improve. So they ran more plays. And what they really wanted was to run more plays so that these guys had to communicate and work together up front. So the practice was not like one that we have seen in the past throughout the years, Tommy, where, it's basically a Jaguars practice and team periods are lined up. This was more, it felt more like we're going to scrimmage.
Okay.
And there was so much more team play. In fact, I would say the only thing other than team that was noticeable was special teams. They did do that.
Brian Sexton here with us live in New Orleans, is out at the joint practice yesterday. Brian, I don't need to go through chapter and verse on what the injuries are on the offensive line. I think we all understand what they are, but what is your level of concern right now with some of the guys that are banged up?
Well, I want to see Walker Little back in the mix because at least he's a guy that is not only versatile, right? He can play left or right. He can play inside or outside. But we don't know when Cole Van Lanen's going to be ready to go. I mean, we can stand there at practice and go, wow, he looks explosive. He's moving well. But that doesn't mean he's going to be ready to go on opening day. So I would feel much more comfortable if I've got Walker Little, who I can put over on the right side and say, I've got a guy who started a lot of football. I'll be good there. If I've got to move Wyatt Milan, who was a really good left tackle in college but hasn't played in the NFL, now I got to make him my right tackle, and I'm still trying to make sure that I've got the left tackle and the quarterback on the same page. I'm getting worried. I think that's what they're working through right now. But from what we hear, Walker Little, and I saw him walking yesterday around the field. He didn't have a boot on, so that's good. Means probably he's going to get back. Probably won't play in the preseason, but you're talking about a guy that you can trust. And that's the thing with an offensive line. We talk about it all the time. Do you trust the matchups? Do you trust the connections that you've got? Because these guys got to get into that trench and fight together. Walker's the one that I would have beyond Cole Van Lanen, obviously. Have the most concern about getting back, but it sounds like he's going to be ready to go before the regular season starts.
And granted, Wyatt Milan has not earned a starting job to this point, but are we expecting to see him tomorrow with the injuries on the O-line? I know they want to protect certain guys, but there have to be enough bodies out there to function, right?
Yeah, my understanding is he's not.
Okay.
Because he's working with the starters. The only starters we're going to see, and we've got a production meeting with Liam Coen coming up here in about 3 hours, so maybe something's changed based on yesterday. They may want to see Wyatt play a little bit more. But we were going to see Ventrell Miller and Branson Combs play on the defensive side, and that was about it in terms of starters. A couple special teams, right? You got to have those guys on the field. You don't have a backup kicker or punter or long snapper competing in training camp this year, but we're not going to see much. We're just not. And again, I know they were working through some things. We had Tony and James Gladstone on Jags HQ last night, and they were talking about how they had to get into the meeting rooms, watch the tape, spend the time, figure out how to clean things up on the offensive line so that they could trust that group up front.
I know you mentioned that you felt like after having watched practice that if you had to pick a winner, one team or the other, that you would lean a little bit towards the Saints overall with the practice yesterday. The Jaguars offense, it sounded like they struggled early. You said you were more focused on that side of the ball yesterday. Red zone sounded like they had a really good period. The practice ended with the 2-minute drill stuff. We've heard a little bit about that. What stood out for you for good or bad from that 2-minute period yesterday?
Well, listen, I'm sure you've seen the video by now of Parker Washington's amazing catch. There's something he does on the practice field every single day that just makes you say, wow. And you realize more than ever, he's the quarterback's number one guy. They trade for Jacoby. They pay him $20 million. They've got Brian that they drafted in the first round, Travis Hunter in the first round that's going to play a role on offense. But the guy where the quarterback feels most comfortable putting the ball is Parker Washington. And that was clear in the 2-minute drill because he was looking at him all the time. And then the last thing in the 2-minute drill that I didn't like was they had the referee standing there counting it down, right, because they didn't have a play clock on the field. And the Jaguars were getting to the line of scrimmage, trying to run the play, and they didn't get the play off. They didn't get the play off before the clock ran out. So you just can't have that. If you're going to be an elite offense, even on the practice field, you don't make mistakes. I just told Tommy we had 50 plays on the script. You have a very limited number of plays. How many of them can you afford to end in failure? You have to have success as much as possible. You can't waste plays, and they wasted a play there at the end. I didn't like seeing that, and I know I think I saw Liam stomp his foot when that happened. So not happy at that. I will tell you on the defensive side, the things that I had gleaned from talking to people was that the run defense was pretty darn good. And listen, that's a physical run game with Alvin Kamara and Travis Achan. I wanted to ask him so badly, dude, why didn't you just tell us? We would have used your pronunciation.
Right,
no
right.
problem. We all would have said Achan. Come on, we got that, but we're not going to interpret it. We're not from Louisiana. The Jags' run defense was number one in the league last year, and it was really good, especially when they had Devon Hamilton on the field. I also thought Eric Armstead provided a really strong pass rush up the middle. He hasn't practiced every day. He's a 12-year vet. He doesn't need to. However, when he's been on the field, he's been unstoppable. And that's what the Jaguars need so desperately this year in the middle of that defensive line is somebody just to create enough pressure to make a quarterback think, what do I want to see, 41 or 44, because I got to get outside.
Hey, Brian, aside from the players, like P. Wash and, of course, Jacoby, I heard Nick Mullins had a good day, too. Anybody else stand out to you that you saw on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I thought that Nate Borkacher,
okay,
he was going at it, right? I mean, he lined up against Carl Granderson, and Granderson got the best of him. But Borkacher got back up off the ground and finished the block, and it was impressive to see. I mean, he is a talented guy, but the thing that stands out the most about him is his drive. He wants to win every inch of grass. He stood out. On the defensive side, one guy that I have to mention because he stood out the last couple of days of practice is Antonio Johnson.
Okay.
He just keeps getting better. And a few years ago, you thought, yeah, okay, special teams guy. He looks the part, but he can't translate. I'm told he spent the entire season last year working to get extra time with Anthony Perkins, the safeties coach, and then has been one of the guys who's first in, last out this training camp. And it shows. Yesterday, they moved him all over the formation. He's a guy that can play dime linebacker. He can play safety. He's a guy. They put him at the podium this week, Tommy. You know what that means. They're featuring.
Yeah.
They think he is a guy that needs to be featured. Yeah, I do too, and I think they've got high hopes for him this year.
Hey, real quick, I know the left side of the line struggled. How did the centers do? How did the right side do against the front of the Saints?
I think they did pretty well. Again, the twist got him. If you go back and watch the video, you'll see that Wyatt Milam got beat a couple of times, and it was leaky pressure that forced Trevor to run outside the pocket.
Okay.
That's the thing. When you're looking at the quarterback, you got to look at his protection.
Yeah.
And yesterday, when the quarterback was off, the protection had broken down. So it's easy to say, well, Trevor's been up and down through camp. Well, yesterday, the protection was up and down. I will say this. Tony mentioned that they had a good red zone period. They marched down the field, and Trevor almost threw an interception. He just threw it right behind Parker Washington on the goal line. The defensive back had it in his hands, and he flat dropped it, and you're like, yeah, okay, you can't have that. But then they went to the other side of the field, and he threw touchdowns on back-to-back plays. Beautiful throws, by the way, to Jacoby Myers and to Brian Thomas Jr. So he has rebounded, and that's really what they're looking for. How do you rebound? When things go bad, because adversity happens, how does this player, but how does this team, how do they rebound? And he's rebounded the whole summer. So I'm pretty excited about where he's at.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, we're excited you could join us live from New Orleans. Look forward to talking to you tomorrow on the pregame. And, of course, you'll be calling that broadcast on television as the Jaguars roll out whoever they're going to roll out against the remains of the New Orleans Saints as well. So appreciate the time this morning, buddy. We'll talk to you tomorrow, okay?
Got a lot of work to do to get ready for this one.
All right. There he goes, Brian Sexton. You got to be all up on the guys 80 through 90.
You do.
On the depth chart if you're calling that game. All right, let's take a timeout, come back, and react to what we heard from Brian Sexton. You can do the same in Jaguar fandom out there at 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines if you so choose. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, transponders, and even high-tech smart locks. For honest, professional locksmith service.
Instant Keys comes to you.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
When it comes to orthopedic care, experience matters, and teamwork matters even more. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, our fellowship-trained specialists work together to treat a full range of conditions, from knees and shoulders to spine, sports injuries, and joint replacement. You'll be guided by the right specialist for your needs, with coordinated care and personalized treatment plans designed for better outcomes. Smarter care, faster access, trusted expertise. Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville.
Storm season is here, and at JEA, we're on it. We work year-round to strengthen our electric, water, and sewer systems, making them more storm-resistant. Trees are trimmed around power lines to help reduce outages caused by falling debris. Plus, our online outage map and the MyJEA app make it easier than ever to report and monitor outages. So no matter what this storm season brings, we're ready to respond, restore, and keep you informed every step of the way. Learn more and see how you can prepare at JEA.com.
Imagine this, you and your buddies outside enjoying the warm weather. The grill is fired up, steaks are sizzling, drinks in hand, and you're all hanging out around your brand new outdoor kitchen. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can make it happen. From custom outdoor kitchens to fireplaces, fire pits, and more. They bring your backyard dreams to life. You dream it, they build it. Visit CSSFireplaces.com and make your backyard the place everyone wants to be this season.
For every special occasion, Coen Flowers can deliver a beautiful floral arrangement with a click, a call, or a visit to one of their beautiful showrooms. High Flying Jacko here. When you need to show someone you love, choose Coen Flowers.
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trust a company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. If you have a school, team, or group that would benefit from a team store, you're in luck because we now offer team stores. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Pick here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra at Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, I've heard you talk about the quality philosophy of Underwoods. Just what is that?
Frank, simply stated, the Underwood quality philosophy is fine jewelry and gifts will bring customers back and create new customers through the endorsements given to Underwoods by our satisfied customers. However, it's our definition of quality that's really been the Underwood difference, because quality has to go beyond materials and craftsmanship and has to include things like design, how it's presented, our service, our integrity, a customer's experience in our store, and the satisfaction a customer feels when they've chosen chosen a special gift from Underwoods. A person or a company earns a reputation over a long period of time. And in Underwoods, we know that you earn your reputation every day because that good reputation can be lost in a matter of days if you're not committed to doing the right thing for the long term.
That's Underwood, serving excellence in North Florida since 1928 in San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. He's number 55.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
All right, let's hear what the head coach of the Jags had to say yesterday after the joint practice, good or bad. Liam Coen asked to address that right off the rip. What was your overall evaluation of how things went?
Yeah, you can tell the communication pre-snap. You hear a lot of good talk going on. You can hear them anticipating probably a little bit more than just reacting. The edge, they set an edge in the run game. I mean, they can set an edge. I think their pass rush is improved from even a year ago, maybe. And I just think that on the back end, Brandon does such a nice job of mixing single high, shell, man, making it all look the same. And you can just tell that they're playing with some confidence right now.
We're talking about the Saints defense and what they faced yesterday. And, he got into a couple of things. And I watched his press conference a couple of times and, talked about how, well, that's a defense that they just take away the deep pass. Well, okay, but, I mean, doesn't everyone try to take away the deep pass? Isn't this a point of emphasis that teams are going to try to take something away? We're still going to be able to do that this year, right? And we're still going to be able to go out and execute, particularly
or kill them underneath
the ball, right? Or kill.
I don't know,
which is a lot tougher. But that's why teams try to force you into that because over the course of a 12-play drive, all it takes is one mistake by the offense, and the defense can get a turnover and stop you. But I don't know. A couple of things. The big defensive line setting an edge. All right, they also lost their best interior defensive lineman for the year. They lost Cam Jordan.
Jordan wasn't even out there.
Who's their best pass rusher. So, I mean, that's half their starting defensive line. And I get it. The Jags have had injuries on the offensive line as well, but that's life in the big city. Yeah. You're still going to have to go out there and execute in week 1 against the Cleveland Browns, no matter who you've got.
Yeah, look, again, even if they did take it on the chin yesterday, I think it was – I don't like how 2-minute ended. It sounded like our offense couldn't do anything against their defense in 2 minutes, so you got to give the Saints some run there. But, look, they've got to take that and get ready. They're not going to be playing in the game, but get ready for next week. It's part of the process. There's no excuses. The whole late travel and early morning. I don't know why Liam said it. I'm sure he wasn't trying to make an excuse, but just don't say it.
That was
because
weird
nobody
to even bring
cares.
up.
Like my team was tired. Whatever. People are tired. They did start off slow. The good thing is they did have some success. So it wasn't like some kind of all day long ass whooping. Look, I went out, like I said, I looked on their side like you guys did too. Caden Ellis, their linebacker, he felt like he had a quote saying, it was a good one on back and forth between our defense and their offense. So I'm wondering maybe the other side felt the same way.
Maybe they did. Maybe they did. All right, why don't we fire up today's 10-10 take, RJ?
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take. Flavored by Houston's Meat Company, Jacksonville's go-to butcher shop since 74.
All right, 1 month from now, none of this matters.
That's right.
It matters in terms of are you building the blocks to be successful for your offense and defense going forward? But in terms of the outcome, especially on a day of practice, not even a preseason game, it won't matter. So nobody here is overreacting to anything or anything like that. But I'll say this: like I had some Jag fans hit me up this morning, like, hey, social media. Here's one. Social media made it seem like Travis Hunter was burned alive, but to me, looked like he was step for step with him, went for the ball both times and just missed. Okay, but that's the difference between winning and losing in the NFL, right? I mean, judge us on our wins and losses. And you don't only get beat by 3 yards, right? When it's clear and obvious. If you make the play, You have won the rep or whatever. And, Tom, you were talking about it with us off the air a little bit earlier on in the hour. If you're going to go for the ball, you can't miss.
You got to at least knock it down. And secure the tackle. You got to have one arm near the guy, because unless you make the pick, you take it to the house, or you even just make the pick, then yeah. But if he was stride first on the one on the sideline was a nice high pass. He had a jump, great catch. He put it in the right spot. I mean, high and outside. That's what you do on those outside throws. So it was a good throw by the QB. He was right there. He cut right with him for the most part. Maybe a millisecond right after. And he took the angle. Like you could see he was trying. He knew the ball was coming, but he didn't jump, he just didn't play it well. Whatever. He went for it, but if you go for it, you got to at least touch the ball.
You got to make the play. And that's what it comes down to. Like, if we reverse that circumstance and it's Brian Thomas on any team's top defensive back, like, wow, big win for the Jaguars on that play. Brian Thomas beat that guy. I mean, it's the outcome is all that matters.
Well, and further, like, as I said, like that out pattern, that's where you put the football. Right? Santonio was his name. Holmes for Pittsburgh. Remember how they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
High and outside. It was an unbelievable catch and throw, right? That kind of thing. But those plays happen. Look, Olave's a great player. How do you pronounce it? Shuck? Right?
Shuck.
Yeah, he's coming along, it seems. I don't know how they're going to be overall, but look, again, if you're gonna make a run for the ball, you got to hit the ball. And then number two, there was some miscommunication on one of the touchdowns to Olave. The one with Lance, I don't know what happened, but he was trailing, so he got beat somehow in that one. I mean, I think we all expect Travis just to shut everybody down, and you don't know. Look, on those plays, is any of our defenders anywhere near hitting the quarterback where the ball doesn't come out clean?
Absolutely.
Maybe it doesn't come out at all. So that's the thing we don't know in these.
Absolutely.
That's why, like you said, Mike, a month from now, the beginning of the regular season, we're not going to give a crap what they did in practice.
Right. I'm not drawing any final conclusions
definitely
from
not.
anything.
But you wanted to hear more, right?
I wanted to hear a little bit better. The guy that we spent all that draft capital to go up and get is shutting down Chris Olave.
I agree with
because that's the kind of guy he's going to match up with most weeks.
And that's his job.
That's his job, right? I mean, so Chris Olave, to me, got the better of him yesterday. No matter how close it was.
I agree.
The final outcome is the final outcome. And so, I mean, look, a lot of room to get better from here, I think, in the end. Analysis.
I think a lot of people, Tone, were assuming that it was the right side giving up the sacks, quote unquote, pressure. Sounds like it was the left side with Anton and Ezra. That's a little
I've heard
concerning.
Mixed, right? We've all heard mixed kind of reviews, Tony, on how Anton performed yesterday.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Like, I went out there and, guys are watching whatever they're watching at practice. There's two full teams essentially on the field trying to get reps in. So where are your eyes? Like, in any given moment, it's hard to evaluate all that. That's why they record practice. So those guys can go back and get a real idea of all these kind of things. And, we're still weeks away from any of this stuff counting. There's a scoreboard tomorrow, but it's just there so we can find out when the game's done so that everyone can get out of there. It feels like, but there is something too, and you know this, Tommy. It's the nature of a practice, even a scrimmage like they were kind of in yesterday against the Saints, where you're not tackling to the ground, like you're not finishing plays that way.
Right.
And there is something to when the ball's in the air as an offensive or defensive player, everything's about, I just need to make a play on the ball in the air, right? Like in that moment. I don't know in a game situation if Hunter even plays defense on that play quite that way, or if it is more I know I can't let him get by me. Like that's the worst part of what can happen on this play. But I think in a practice situation, I don't blame guys right there in that moment for I'm going to get the ball.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I see the ball, I'm going to get the ball.
He may do it in a game. It might be his instinct.
Right. Like, he didn't make a play on the ball.
Yeah.
So he deserves whatever criticism you want to give him for that in that moment. Is it how he would defend it in the regular season? I do not know the answer to that question.
And
I just don't know.
I'm not even criticizing like the decision or anything like that. I'm just saying the bottom line is the bottom line.
He made the play.
Olave
made the play.
Inches and millimeters and all that. You win or you don't on every single rep there, and you stack enough of them and you win football games. And the Jags won a ton last year, right? So that's why I think everything we're looking at, we're giving them a lot of benefit of the doubt right now because they've earned it.
Yeah, I tell you what, I would feel a lot better if 2 Minute ended up being better for our offense.
We'll hear Liam Coen talk about that coming up, but want to focus in on the running game and what he had to say about that when we return in a moment. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
Launch the downloads.
Join the 1010XL Podcast Network.
And initiate sequence.
Now you can find all your favorite 1010XL podcasts in your platform of choice.
If replacing those old windows has been on your someday list, well, this is the perfect time to make it happen with the end of summer sale at Renewal by Anderson. Buy 4 windows and get the 5th free. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But this offer ends August 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Hey, it's Joe C. for Wingstop. Have you ever heard of a flavor rodeo? Now available at Wingstop. Carolina Gold, a bold blend of tangy mustard barbecue, apple cider vinegar, and savory spices for the right amount of southern sweet and tang. And Jamaican Jerk, a rich barbecue sauce infused with chilies, thyme, cinnamon, garlic, nutmeg, and sweet molasses. Finished with a savory jerk season for an extra layer of flavor. Carolina Gold and Jamaican Jerk. Now that's a flavor rodeo for a limited time only at Wingstop.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer team, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
Feel a vibration in your steering wheel at highway speeds? That's not something to ignore, and a standard tire balance might not fix it. At G&H Tires and Service, they offer Road Force Balancing, an advanced system that simulates how your tire actually performs on the road to detect hidden issues. It goes beyond traditional balancing to reduce vibration, improve handling, and extend the life of your tires. Newer vehicles, especially with low-profile tires, demand this level of precision. Drive smoother. G&H Tires and Service on Beach Boulevard, where your ride gets dialed in right.
Checkmate.
I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, Checkmate's chessman, and, you may be surprised, newfound fan of American football.
Really? You?
Absolutely. Listen to this. Duval!
It's Duval, Chester. Duval.
That's what I said. Duval!
Ball.
Ball. Ball. The point is, Brendan, with football season approaching and friends dropping by your house to watch the games, there's no better time to spiff up your garage with a beautiful, durable, polymer-coated floor.
We can even do it in team colors for the real fans out there.
Oh, that is a good idea.
A garage floor your friends will love?
Check. In a color that makes you proud?
Check. Installed by locals who can actually pronounce Duval?
Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Coen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
This football season, stop tailgating in a parking lot. Upgrade to your own private rail car at River City Railway. Entertain clients, party with friends, or create unforgettable family traditions. And River City Railway is just steps from the stadium. Full-size rail cars with AC, flat-screen TVs, private restrooms, outdoor entertaining spaces, and parking passes. Everything you need for the perfect game day. Visit rivercityrailway.com and reserve your rail car before they're gone.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Number 55 in the middle, he's Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
I want to get to Liam Coen on the Jags running game, right?
Yeah.
Now, Liam has not been shy from kind of telling it like it is in press conference settings, right? We go back to last year, kind of, put Anton on the spot a little bit.
When he wants to.
Right? When he wants to, put Trevor on the spot at times. And that's tough coaching, right? But it signals that there's an issue. What do they say this offseason, Tony? There's an issue. There's a stink in the running game.
Stinky.
You got to fix it. Okay, so here was Liam Coen asked yesterday about what he has seen lately from Chris Rodriguez.
Yeah, I think he had a couple nice downhill runs today that you like to see. I thought he had a nice pickup in blitz protection as well today. It's day by day. He's getting better and better. I've been pleased with his progress.
Everything you hear about Chris Rodriguez, once the pads go on, once we start playing tackle football, Chris Rodriguez, he's showing up, more physical, right? I mean, as advertised. Not saying he's the greatest running back in the league, but kind of as advertised.
Yeah, his physical play led to that skirmish yesterday in practice. Like, he put his shoulder down on a safety. Safety didn't like it, right? So everyone got in each other's faces a little bit out there at practice. The two teams came together. Coach had to hold LaQuinn Allen back, apparently, in the moment, right, to not allow that scrappy little guy to get involved with whatever was going on there. But speaking about the Anton comments last year, and when Coach wants to put a fire underneath somebody, that's generally the way that he speaks about it in the public, is that kind of attitude. Like, when they can go, they go, right? Like, that's what we saw him say about Anton. Not exactly the same, but similar, the way that he talked about Bashal Tutin yesterday after practice.
Yeah, I mean, the 4.28 jumps out at you, right, from the he can run, he's strong, he can run through contact. Right now, we just got to continue to work on his tracks, reading his keys, and just go play. Like, not overthinking where the ball maybe should go or could go, and just stick your foot in the ground and get north. Because when he does that and he gets his shoulder square and downhill, it can be impressive. He can really run through arm tackles. He got arguably maybe a touchdown today on the screen, which was great to see, an area which we need to continue to improve on. So I've been pleased with him, but we got to take another step.
All right, we'll get more on the subject in just a second. But like he's saying, when he does these things, right? And I'm not trying to make this, Bashal Tutin's clearly been out there as the lead guy in the backfield. He's got immense talent. Think he's going to be really good for this football team, right? But when, he's basically saying, just trust it, right? Trust what you see and just let your instincts take over. That's what I'm hearing a little bit here, Tom. Am I wrong?
Well, no, I think what he's saying is, like, hit the hole faster.
Right, hit the hole, but
quit looking. Just
don't
go.
think. Right, go.
Go. Then you think. Once you get past the first line, that's when you start thinking, do I need to make a cut? Do I need to make a spin? Do I need to forearm? Run somebody over? But prior to that, you're not thinking. You got to go where the hole is.
All right, so right at the end of the press conference, there was a follow-up. And the question apparently was, does he have to change anything about the run game to fit Bashal Tutin?
I don't think so. I think that's an area that we got to continue to evolve with him and keep building him on that path. I mean, he had some really big explosive kickoff returns for us last year. I think actually KOR helps him as well in the run game, is just continuing to get reps at setting up blocks and understanding maybe the scheme of where things could go, but also just going and hitting it and go. I think that actually helps backs. When they're on KOR, it's like there's no dancing. You got to go. And that's something that I think we can continue to work with on Toot. And, he'll keep getting those, though.
Look, KOR, obviously, kickoff return, right? And,
I get it.
It's interesting. I know you. I'm just saying for the.
No, I meant why he's saying. I get why he's saying KOR.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't sound like right there they have any ideas of Bashal not being the kick returner
at all, right? And that to the point where it's benefiting him by teaching him just go, be decisive on the fly, right?
Yeah.
Like, hit it up in there. It reminded me a little bit of just put it on his chest,
Mhm.
right? Just
Yeah.
go, Basil.
Hit it.
Just do it. Just hit it. And I'm not trying to make any big, thing out of it. It's just, it struck me a little bit like everything about Chris Rodriguez. Oh, man, he bangs it up in there and no hesitation. And here he goes. And with Basil, we know he can do it. Got to do it more consistently.
It's almost like waiting for the guy to get open before you throw the football. You throw the football before
got to
he's
anticipate.
open. So when the play's called, say the guard is pulling and he's going to lead you through. There is no wait and see what he does. It's get on, behind him and know where he's going to block and know where you got to hit the hole. So if he's going out, right, to create that hole right behind his backside, you got to be there.
Yep.
Like it's a time. Running games are all timing, a lot of them. It's not just here, go ahead and burst your way through and good luck. It's no, you got to hit that hole at that one time. So when he says dancing, he's dancing. So you got to quit dancing. It's a one cut and go, and then you start dancing when you get past that first line of defense.
Now, to be fair, last year, put it on his chest, let it rip, right? It worked. Right. And Trevor just reached a point where the mental shackles or whatever came off. And he's like, OK, consequence be damned. Maybe I will throw a pick, but my talent is going to let me make more positive plays.
I don't feel like Tootin's a bruiser. I don't feel like he's going to be your in between the tackles throughout the game and it's just going to wear a defense. I think Rodriguez is closer to that. I think he is a bruiser. He's more of a thumper. But doesn't mean he's not strong. Doesn't mean he can't do things. But I don't think Basil Tootin's the guy to, you're given 20 carries to go in between the tackles and get those really tough yards. I think you got to set him up, get him the hole, show him the way, and then use that speed to really take advantage.
It's just interesting to me. And I'm not trying to build it up into anything. It's interesting, and I want to see where it goes from here, if anywhere, that they talk about the stink in the running game. They talk about getting those tough yards and those decisive runs and everything about Chris Rodriguez. Check, 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 check. Basil, when he does it, it can be really, all right, so he's not doing it
enough
to the degree you want him to right now.
And if Coach is saying it to us, he's saying it to him.
I'm sure he is. Right? Yeah. And look, Basil, again, immense talent. Hope he has 1,500 yards on the ground this year. It would be fantastic. And nobody's doubting that breakaway speed, his desire, all those things.
What happened on Chris Rodriguez's first carry when the pads came out?
He trucked Caleb Ransall. I trucked him.
Have you seen the other backs truck anybody?
No.
Right.
Now, I don't want you trucking somebody on every run.
I know. But
better
he's
to avoid
a bruiser.
the contact.
That's the difference.
Yeah, and that is an area specifically that they wanted to get more of in their running game. So I'm just
that hole, get north.
Just interesting to me. All right, we'll come back more from Liam Coen in hour 2 as we've got Tom McManus in studio reacting to the Jags joint practice with the New Orleans Saints yesterday. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach. Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Joe, I'm afraid I'll have to take your badge and gun.
Joe Coward.
Captain, if we could just please... I don't want to discuss it.
Weekdays noon to 2.
Hand him over.
On 1010XL.
He believes there's probable cause to believe
You're not a police officer anymore, Joe.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Mike Dempsey, if you're thinking about a bathroom upgrade, maybe turning that old tub into a safer walk-in shower, check out 5 Star Bath Solutions. I shopped around, talked to several companies, and I chose 5 Star because their customer service was simply incredible. Responsive, honest, upfront about the entire project, and their pricing was even better than expected. When you're ready for a fresh look, better comfort, and a bathroom space you'll love using every day, schedule your free consultation at 5starbathsolutions.com and get the 5-star experience.
Prosser here, and if you're in the market for buying or selling your home, let me make it a lot easier for you. Two names, Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, stress-free. Need max price? Chad and Sandy's science-based Market Max system is a proven, repeatable system guaranteed to sell your home for maximum price. You want to talk guarantees? Using the Max Market system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. It's as simple as that. James and Sue in St. Augustine said, my wife and I wanted to move to Ocala for more space. We interviewed 3 other agents who didn't last 5 minutes. Chad and Sandy's team spent time answering all of our questions and made us feel important. Our home was sold in 1 week at the highest price in the neighborhood, while many neighbors failed to sell. That's the kind of proven results you get with Chad and Sandy. So call the local agents who guarantee to sell your home, who I know and trust. Reach out to Chad and Sandy, 414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
CBS Senior Sports NFL columnist Pete Prisco spars with Frank and Hayes on The Frangie Show.
This guy must be quite the athlete, huh?
Thursdays on 1010XL.
You ever see him play?
Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Royal Pest Services, a local company you can trust. Royal Pest is a certified installer of tap insulation, which stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Reduce that electric bill by adding pest protection. It's that easy. Online at royalpestservices.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, soccer fans, Sporting Jacks is giving away a new Honda Accord Saturday, 8:15. Sporting Jacks men take on Indy 11 at 7 on Hodges Field at UNF. Just be there. Someone will win a new car from Honda at the Avenues and Sporting Jacks. Visit sportingjacks.com today.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update, sponsored by JEA. Jags and the Saints wrap joint work, and Jacksonville starters are likely sitting Saturday. Preseason kicks off at 4 p.m. in New Orleans. You can catch it live on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Jags GM James Gladstone is real about the players trying to make the team.
Hey, they're not only trying out for you, but they're trying out for a lot of other eyes.
That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 88 degrees at 11:05. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Look, I got a lot.
Mac in the Middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
What do we have, a half dozen games last night, or games loosely?
Something like that, yeah.
Exhibitions around the National Football League. It is interesting to see some teams, like Joe Burrow run out there with the first team offense to start the game. A lot of teams doing what the Jags are doing, shutting it down across the board. And then you see guys get banged up. Like Jeremiah Love had 14 touches in the first half.
Wow.
For Arizona, then twisted his ankle. They say he's going to be fine. But, okay, you got a good look at Jeremiah Love against a bunch of backup defensive players.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a cost benefit you got to constantly do.
Look, he's going to be a great player, but the one run, it was like, the hole was there.
Sure.
Talk about hitting the hole, though. He hit it on time and made a nice run out of it, the one that they're showing all over social media.
We had a tie last night.
We did.
Indianapolis. Well, right now, I can call them Indiana until the Bears get there.
Yeah,
then you're going to have to differentiate. The Hammond Bears. Or
the Hammond Bears.
The Hammond Organs. Maybe it'll change their name, too. Tony, why don't you tell us what's happening around the NFL?
Now, Gems Around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Houston quarterback Graham Mertz will be getting further testing done today, but the initial reports yesterday indicate that he suffered a ACL tear in the preseason game last night. New Orleans rookie wide receiver Jordan Tyson left the joint practice yesterday with the Jags with an apparent leg injury. No details were available right after practice. There has been some speculation it was a minor hamstring injury for Tyson, with head coach Kellen Moore saying that they will know more about what's going on with that today. Seattle is signing corner Terrion Arnold, who was released earlier this offseason after being charged with multiple felonies after an incident in Tampa that involved 3 men being beaten and robbed over a property dispute. His next scheduled court appearance is October 5th. Baltimore head coach Jesse Minter said that corners Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins could both be able to return to practice next week. Humphrey after leaving Wednesday's practice early, Wiggins after suffering a leg injury on Tuesday this week. And Carolina is calling running back Chuba Hubbard week to week as he works through a hamstring injury. He has already been ruled out for their game tomorrow against Buffalo in week 1 of the preseason. Head coach Dave Canales said yesterday that he's very confident he will be ready to go week 1 in the regular season, but not going to be on the field at least for the next week, it looks like.
That sound you hear is the rocket engine that Jonathan Brooks is taking right now up the draft charts in Carolina.
Can hold up,
in one day, he jumped 2 rounds in fantasy drafts.
Did he really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they were Chuba and Brooks were already, like, Chuba started out way ahead of him.
Yeah.
And then the gap has been closing until they were basically dead even. Now it's completely flipped the other way around. And who knows? I mean, we haven't seen much of Jonathan Brooks as a professional.
Did you see that clip of Mike McDonald on, I think it was on Hard Knocks, where he was yelling at the player about hitting the quarterback? He's like, he hit him twice. And he's like, last time I checked, I'm running the beeping practice. Did you see that?
I did,
I
actually.
Love that.
Yes. Yes.
I love that fire.
Well, you get that kind of stuff this time of year. You get these little behind-the-scenes looks.
Yeah.
See the report yesterday from Jeff Howe of The Athletic that the Jags turned down 2, quote, significant trade offers for wide receiver Brian Thomas at last year's deadline. If you know that, what are they? Come on, you know what I mean? Like,
and why so long? When did this come out?
Yesterday, right? And there was a lot of talk at the time, and most of the talk, as I recall, made it seem like the Jags were shopping Brian Thomas, or at least some people try to couch it that way. And
well, I'm sorry. Remember Gladstone addressed the media, like he made a comment about, no, we just got to show Brian Thomas that we care about, love him. There's nothing going on. Like, it's almost like a damage control, maybe get in front of it.
If this report is accurate, if you're getting calls and it's getting out there, Jags are fielding calls on Brian Thompson. Well, they're going to answer the phone for anybody. Hey, it's the GM.
Yeah,
I can't answer that, and he might ask me about Brian Thomas. I mean, yes, they're going to take a call on anything that is possible out there. So I'm curious, like, what they deem to be significant. You know?
Yeah. I could see the Buffalo. Buffalo was one of the rumors. You could see that. They were looking for a number one type.
Pittsburgh was
Pitt was
I mean, there are a bunch of teams that could use Brian Thomas, but what were they actually offering?
Right.
The Jags, I'd like to know.
Right at the trade deadline? Is that what he said?
That's what he
So you got Jacoby right at the trade deadline, didn't you? Wasn't that pretty close to the...
Basically.
Right?
So maybe they felt like Jacoby coming in. Is Brian Thomas available because the pecking order is changing in Jacksonville? I don't know. I just would like to know, A, is it accurate? And I don't, doubt that it could have happened.
Yeah.
I don't see why Jeff Howe would make this up. It's weird, the timing coming out now. I don't think there's anything nefarious about it. It's just strange that I haven't heard this definitively expressed like this. And that Liam Coen, then said, hey, I talked to Brian. We let him know that it's not coming from us.
Right.
You're going to hear your name.
Right.
That's part of being a professional and all that out there. I just want to know what is significant.
Right.
First round pick plus?
Right.
Or was it a third and a fifth? Which depending on. So it's weird how trades go down sometimes. You see guys that go for not that much because the other team has to pay them. Brian Thomas, very young player. I would, look, I'm glad the Jags have him.
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to what the offers were.
Yeah, and who with and how significant we talking.
Right.
Yeah.
And what their thoughts are right now. And I think, look, they don't have to make any kind of decision on Brian Thomas. For a while, Tony and I talked about this yesterday. Parker Washington's extension is up in the air, just because we don't know what until it gets done, it's up in the air. Yeah. But Brian Thomas, you got him
time
this year, next year, 5th-year option. You got a ways to go before you have to make that final call.
Yeah, and look, if you don't think GMs are taking phone calls all the time, probably every week, hey, what do you think about, would you let Armstead go? Would you let whoever go? They're probably taking at least once a month, about different players.
And they would let most all of them go for the right offer.
Sure.
I mean, you want to pay. You want to get. That's why I said most all of them, right? Because you're not going to, any team that's looking to get Trevor Lawrence doesn't have a quarterback that's going to interest you.
That's right.
Because
you
they
don't
already have
That's
their guy.
why what does the significant of that significant offer mean, right? And the Brian Thomas Jr., it would be nice to know so that we would know, that's how much they value Brian.
Yeah.
He's not worth that.
Yes.
Like giving up that, you giving us that for that is not worth it to us. Like having an idea of what that actually is would be interesting to know. I'm not surprised the teams would be reaching out about Brian. Like we heard this stuff this offseason too. Is Brian available? Like we dealt with months of this kind of thing going on. Well, Brian's been great.
Right.
This entire offseason.
And just for they field calls doesn't mean they're shopping them. They're just fielding calls.
Teams are interested in Brian.
Yeah, you want to hear what's the pitch?
But to Tony's point, I want to know what they I don't even have to know the team.
Right.
Was it a first-rounder plus? Because to me, if it's not, what is significant? The guy was a first-round pick. He was in his second year. He's coming off a 1,200-yard season. If you're telling me a late first-round pick, I don't know if that's a significant offer for Brian Thomas at that point in his career. So even without naming the teams, give us an idea of what you think significant is.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, you guys have seen it too. Like his whole demeanor seems different, Brian Thomas.
It does.
He seems happy, confident, looks strong. He's been making the catches. Looking fast, so at least he's, he could have gone the other way. He could have been like,
look, man, I want them all to perform well for the Jags, but for his sake, we were talking about him this time last year, Tony. He's the best player on this roster.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Is he the best player? And you wouldn't list him, I don't think, anywhere close to number one right now. Potentially.
Right.
Yes, potentially, but
depending on this year, if he gets back to the first year.
He could get himself back in the conversation, no doubt. Liam Coen talked about Brian Thomas Jr. yesterday. We'll hear what he had to say when we return in a moment. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service.
This is your captain speaking. Please return to your seats. We will be experiencing turbulence.
1010XL. Taking turbulence out of the air.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Ticket here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
It's funny. Most of us don't think about our water heater until it's too late. So here's a little bonus from our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. During August, when you schedule any plumbing service, they'll include a free water heater inspection while they're already at your home. No pressure, no gimmicks, just honest advice from a company that's built its reputation on doing things the right way. That's the Duck Duck standard. When you're stuck, call Duck Duck Rooter, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Make your outdoor living space one you're proud of with Sutherland Lawn and Landscape. From landscape design and outdoor living spaces to turf, lighting, irrigation, pavers, and complete residential and commercial maintenance, Sutherland brings your vision to life with quality craftsmanship and a team you can trust. Sutherland Lawn and Landscape, transforming outdoor spaces, elevating everyday living. Visit SUTHERLIN lawn.com today.
High school football's big on the First Coast.
Look for Hackers' weekly high school power poll on the social channels of 1010XL and on First Coast Football Friday.
I'll rank the top teams.
Flavored by Flame Broiler, Simply Healthy.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh, yeah. Used the trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
There's a lot happening at Cycles of Jacksonville. Tell them about it, Greg.
It's summertime and it's time to ride. We continue to roll through our demo days. We've got yet another one coming up. Sully's going to fill you in on all the details, but you're going to want to be here to ride a Triumph.
Yes, we have Triumph Roadster Demo Day, June 19th and 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You do not want to miss this one. Come on down to Cycles of Jacksonville.
We are your place to be, especially if you want to ride. Everybody's always smiling when they get off those demos.
Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency. CyclesofJacksonville.com.
Frank Frangie here for my friends at Coil Fencing. You've heard me talk about our Bragan baseball complex with walk-off charities and we needed a batter's eye. Nobody knew how to do it. Coil figured it out, and it is great. Since then, Coil & Sons has completed hundreds of projects, including most recently our football fields at Fort Family Park. The bottom line is they do everything. They do it well. It looks great. I trust Coil & Sons. You can too. Since 1927, they've been getting it right. CoilJacks.com, C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. That's where you find them. A proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Back in the middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
All right, making our way through the second hour of Jaguars today. Jags on the field, some of them anyway, in New Orleans tomorrow against the Saints. Starters will be withheld. I'm a little disappointed that we won't get Wyatt Milam from the sound of it. I want to see him continue to get reps and compete, but I also understand, like right now, if you're starting the season, Wyatt Milam be one of your starters on the offensive line. So
yeah, and I think with all the injuries, maybe don't risk that potential.
I think that's what it is,
you know
right?
what I mean? You got to keep them together.
Are you disappointed, Tom, that you know, again, it's an unofficial depth chart. It just came out. It's subject to change. We can point to a lot of things last year that you said, well, this is what it was when the first one came out, and it didn't end up that way. But I feel like with McCary not doing anything in team drills throughout camp, Milam has had a chance to at least put himself on that McCary or Milam conversation, right? And it was McCary as the starter. Is that just veteran deference, or are they not seeing yet what they need to see out of Wyatt Milam consistently?
Yeah, I don't think they're ready to hand that over just yet. I think Monheim's in the mix at right guard a little bit. I think they want to see more of him, and I want to see a little bit more of him. I don't know if he's the answer. I can't sit there and be like, yeah, he can do it, but he's versatile enough. And, I mean, Pregnon's out. You don't have him in there to see if he can do anything yet. I do want to see him at center, too, Monheim, so give Hainsey a run. It sounds like Hainsey had a good day yesterday from what I think the center to the right side did okay. So, yeah,
I haven't gotten any sense that Monheim's been running ahead of Milam.
No,
he's been getting those reps when Milam's been kicked out at right tackle.
Correct. I'm not saying because he's replaced Milam and they kicked Milam out when they needed him to right tackle, and then he played right guard. I just think they want to see him a little bit more. That's all. I don't think I'm not sitting here saying he's going to press Milam yet, but I think look at the same time if you continue on with either bad performance or injuries, maybe one of the lineups is where Monheim's your right guard and Milam's your right tackle.
Maybe
they've been showing that in practice quite a bit.
Yeah. Baselli,
out of necessity.
Talked up
right?
Monheim when he was on with us, Tone, and so did Jeff Logman, both, just in terms of like the raw physicality that he's got. So, I mean, look, the fact that he's even in the conversation to be on a team as a 7th-round pick is pretty good, right? So if he can push to actually be a key reserve, as he turned out to be last year, I think more out of necessity, but as this line hopefully gets better over the next few years, if he can be one of those top 8 guys, even if he's never a full-time starter for this team, it's a pretty good 7th-round selection.
Yeah, I think a lot of things speak to, Tommy, where the offensive line actually is, right? Anton is a guy that they've moved from right to left now for the first time in his career. He played left tackle, obviously, in his college career, but he's going to be the left tackle for him right now. I think we all kind of have him locked in our minds as their best offensive lineman right now, right? So when you look at trying to fill out the group behind him, I don't think anyone stands out all that much among that group of the next 6-7 names. Right? Like, we're all still trying to figure out how do you divide these guys up. And I think it speaks more to what level everyone is at than it speaks to how high anyone's level is, necessarily in that room. All the options are still open. I would love for Wyatt Milam to earn a job, just stand on it, take a job somewhere on the offensive line. That doesn't appear to be the way that things have worked out to this point for this football team. And I think it speaks more to where the group is right now, and we can all feel comfortable if they lose a guy, they put another guy in, and not a whole lot changed. Well, yeah, not a whole lot changed. Like, we lost the guy, and it's the same, going in. Like, I don't think the whole group is all that high a level for you to get all that worked up on who's playing where necessarily at this point, because I don't think there's a lot of separation between any of these guys at this point.
I don't know how confident I am in the 10, first and second team. You know what I mean? Like, even if the starters who we have out there healthy now, you know what I mean? Like, and then the backups, like, what if? You need guys that can step in. I think that's why with Monheim, that's why they're giving him a run at guard. By them trying him at guard, that just means he's a physical center, right? That's why he gets the run at guard. He's big enough. He's physical enough. He can try. Let's try him at guard in case we need him, right? Type of thing. But you think about it, behind the front line, and the front line struggled yesterday, or some of them did. Ricky Lee. You know what I mean? You got Pregnon, who's not out there. Who they just grabbed, the Christian kid, Jaron Christian. You know what I mean? You're gonna see guys that. You got to have a solid.
You got to see a lot of these guys
backup.
Tomorrow.
But you got to see them play like that. Hopefully they have a lot of success, so at least you feel good about my backup lines. And look, it's not the starters, but that's just what you have. It's like our pass rushers. I want to see B.J. Green crush it tomorrow.
Yes,
you know what I mean. I want to see Durfee if he's healthy. I don't know if he's healthy, but if he's getting going, let's see these guys. I want to see Regis. He's been coming on lately. Let's see it in a game. So at least that gives you some comfort and confidence that, okay, I got guys that can play, even if it's backups versus backups.
All right, told you we're going to hear what Liam Coen had to say about Brian Thomas yesterday, so let's do that right now, and started things off by saying that he has really attacked the offseason the right way.
Yeah, I think he's attacked the offseason the right way, that's for sure. He's come in with a mindset and mentality that everything's forward. Everything's ahead of him right now. We're staying in the moment in terms of each day, trying to get the best out of him, and he's attacking it the right way. History with Trev has gotten better and improved. They're being deliberate about that. I would have liked to have been able to hit a couple deep ones today, but the way Brandon plays, that defense, I mean, it kind of makes you really be patient as an offensive play caller. And as a quarterback, and receivers can get a little bit frustrated. They didn't today. I didn't feel that, but it's hard to get the ball over the top of them. But I was pleased to see those guys make some plays.
Yeah, that's the NFL, man. They'll play shell on you. Like we'll let you have the 12-play drives. We're not letting you have the 2-play drives, right? Like, that's what the NFL has largely become, it feels like right now. You got to force them into those kind of moments a little bit. Brian Thomas Jr., one more comment here from head coach Liam Coen yesterday. He said that he just needs to be able to take advantage of that speed that he has a little bit more.
He's a very smart player, man. You don't have to tell BT something more than once usually to understand what he's going to go do. It's about us knowing him a little bit better now and him knowing the system. And you look at his rookie year. I mean, he didn't play a ton with Trevor. And so that connection and chemistry is so important. And I think he's done a great job of just, man, your speed is the number one thing that people are going to be threatened by. And so every route that you run, making it feel like you could run by them at every moment and make them feel you. And so I think that's something he's been working on.
Yeah. I mean, you got to set those guys up if they're playing shell on you, right? Make them think that you're not going deep and then bang, hit them deep somehow. And if they're playing shell, that means the safety's back. That means your intermediate to underneath should be open.
Right.
Unless they got really good, sticky man-to-man coverage, underneath.
It's just interesting to me. Like, a lot of talk about we were really working on pushing the ball downfield. That was the talk of OTAs, right? Driving the ball.
And they were.
Down. Absolutely, they were. But just to hear, like, well, this defense doesn't want you to do that, so you got to be patient. What defense invites you to throw over the top of them? I don't. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and you're in practice, so why wouldn't you take the shot?
Take the shot anyway.
Yeah, let's
right?
go. Let's see if he can go win the ball.
I don't know. I'm just.
I still
probably
feel like
hearing everything in a pessimistic mood.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have been all morning.
It's
not just. It's just
okay.
more like I'm just like I.
Is that what happened on the first play of practice yesterday, where Trevor threw the pick? It was just we're trying to force it downfield. Why
Maybe.
not? Like I don't know.
What was the? I know he threw the pick, but do we know how it went down at all?
I haven't heard.
Yeah. I don't know. I know in practice they've missed a couple times deep, and I think it's just timing. That's where you just got to throw it. Throw it out there. Let him have a shot at it. He's a tall guy. It's not like he's small. He can get up there. He's fast enough. But I get what Liam's saying. Like, believe in your speed, man. Who cares if they're playing shell? Let's go.
And make them feel your speed. Like, run everything full speed.
Yeah.
Run, even if you're not getting the ball,
right?
You can open up the rest of the offense. As we saw the way Denver defended him last year, put Patrick Surtain on him. Even though he wasn't having the best season of any Jaguar receiver out there.
One of the top DBs on him.
He's still got that crazy athleticism.
Jacoby said with us on Tuesday, right? They're going to feel us.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Right? Like, that's what he said basically at the end of sitting down with us. We want to make them feel us. Well, I think part of it is, Brian, they need to feel your speed. Yeah. Like, that has to be a threat on every route you're running. It's like, he can run by me, so when he breaks that route off, you're sitting there on your heels like, oh, he could have run by me. I can't let him do that.
That's the thing about Brian, though, since he's been here. It's like when he takes off, it's not a sense of urgent, motion. You know what I mean? It's almost like I'll get into it and then I'll cut. Where you don't feel like you're worried about him going deep every time. You know he can go deep, but I don't feel like he runs it like it's going deep every time, and then you break it off. Right? And I hate to bring up Jimmy every time, but Jimmy was perfect at that. You thought Jimmy was going deep every time. You're so worried you're going to get beat deep. He would get your turn and bang, you break it off, run a slant, run it in, whatever it was, or an out, whatever that was, and you had no idea if he was going deep or not. Brian doesn't seem to run with that kind of sense of urgency. It's more of a long striding type of takeoff, and at least from my opinion.
All right, well, look, again, nothing that happens now is going to be remembered in a month.
That's right.
If the Jags go out there and beat the Cleveland Browns,
I'm not worried.
It's all in the past and the rear view. But till we get there, I'm going to microanalyze every single.
Well, that's
thing
what we do. And
listen,
there's expectations. They went 13-5.
I'm just saying, I wanted the Jags to be the team coming out yesterday with that braggadocious. They couldn't stop me, like Chase Young was yesterday.
He felt very confident.
I wrecked that practice, man.
Yeah,
I would have had him sacked 6 times.
That's what he said.
You know, and that's so. And maybe that's not true. Maybe that's just false bravado. I don't know. But I'd like us to be the team throwing the bravado out there.
It's at least 50% true. We'll give them that. So that's 3. That's 3 too many.
Could be. All right. We'll come back more from Liam Coen, today's golden moment, and we'll take a look at today's Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day as well. Which player or players are you most looking forward to honing in on this weekend as the Jags take on the Saints? Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and RJ Saunders here with you on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for my friends at Dandy Foods. They started the company way back in 1956. The Thompson family, a Jacksonville group, started Dandy 70 years ago with a few sandwiches, and then the subs came along, and then the menu just kept growing, but they never stopped having a commitment to quality. The highest quality ingredients is where everything starts with Dandy. And yes, they deliver it fresh, never frozen. You always want that bread soft and delicious, whether you're choosing a Dandy Classic sandwich, a sub, Anything off the full breakfast menu, protein packs, veggie trays, fruit cups, you name it. Quick pick-me-up food on the go as you're driving around Duval. We're all spread out. Dandy can be your focus. Swing into an area Circle K, head right to the fresh case. Get over 35 varieties staring you right in the face of delicious food options for on the go. When you're hungry in Duval, Dandy's the name to know. So do what I do when you are. Go out and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL, it's full throttle on the straightaway.
3 wide for the lead. 1 lap to go.
This Saturday at Martinsville.
Checkered flag is in the air.
NASCAR is revved up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, care starts with listening, one-on-one consultations, clear answers, and a plan built around you. Our orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine physicians, and rehabilitation specialists work together to treat injuries, manage chronic pain, and restore strength and mobility. From your first check-in to your personalized treatment plan, everything is designed to help you move forward with confidence. Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, expert care, improving lives.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Your bathroom doesn't have to be completely remodeled to make a big difference. Sometimes all it takes is one easy upgrade, like a custom glass shower door from Capital Glass and Shower Doors. A new shower door can transform your bathroom with a clean, modern, completely new look. From the initial design through the final installation, Capital Glass delivers a high quality and a best-in-class experience. Stop by their new showroom in St. Augustine near the Outlet Mall or visit capcoglass.com. CAPCO glass.com.
Jaguars fans, grab your passport. Open and fund a new Everbank Performance account for your chance to win the Everbank London Getaway Experience. One winner gets round-trip airfare for 2, 4 nights hotel, and 2 tickets to the Jags game in London this October. Start your journey today at everbank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 6/29 to 8/27/26. Get official rules and details at everbank.com/London Rules. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A. Member FDIC.
UFC Fight Night is coming in hot, and the best place to catch every hit, every kick, and every takedown is at Twin Peaks. Ice cold 29-degree beer, scratch-made favorites, and wall-to-wall TVs put you right into action. ET here for Twin Peaks. Eat, drink, scenic views.
Instant Keys is turning 25. A quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish.
Seriously, it was just in my pocket.
Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you for honest, professional locksmith service. Use Instant Keys.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long, drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, golden moment. I'll give it this. No major injuries yesterday in the joint practice, man.
That's an optimistic point of
Is
view.
it? I don't know if it is, but it's not totally pessimistic. I'm not saying like this, anything's, I just wish it had been more of a momentum builder overall, right? Like, hey, what do we want to do? Trevor Lawrence had a great second half of the year. Now he's going to hit the ground running. Right. This Liam Coen offense, now we don't have to learn it. We're in it. Everything, we're just going to hit the ground running and be that team that we were in the second half of the year. And I know that's not what the team preaches. Every year's the new year, all this kind of stuff. But I think that's the hope, that they kind of pick up where they left off and play like they were playing down the stretch last year.
Yeah, when you hear the first throws a pick, not knowing how it went down, but still you're just like, what? And then he threw another one. You're like, what? But then he comes back for 3 touchdowns. And think about it this way: if he goes 3-2 in a game, and we win, we're okay with that.
If we win, yes, right. 2 interceptions is too many, but I get what you're saying. But if he has if Trevor throws a pick and throws a couple of 3 touchdowns, and the Jags win the football game, we're not going to be nitpicking it like that. Winning, judge us on wins and losses. We're happy to do that. We can't get there quickly enough, though.
No doubt.
Because you can't judge yesterday on a straight win-loss kind of basis.
Should they play their starters in the preseason? I don't know. Do they beat Cleveland? Then I'll tell you how I felt about their decisions on whether they played guys in the
honest
preseason.
Truth, right? I mean, if you win that first game and you look good doing it, then whatever you did was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, means you're ready.
And guess what? There's going to be a handful of teams that don't play anybody in the preseason, and maybe more than a handful. But there's going to be some that don't play anybody. There's going to be some that play the starters.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some out of each pile that win and lose in the first week of the season. So it's like, man, just go out there but that is one, the Jags, if you want to get to where you're going to be, if you're going to be the team you're going to be this year, you cannot lose the opener, the Cleveland Browns.
No, you need to hit the ground running.
Not with Deshaun. Yeah. And I realized last time we saw Deshaun Watson, he was beating the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that long ago.
No, right.
It was in a Cleveland uniform.
Yeah.
Can't be losing to the Cleveland Browns to start the year.
Trevor Bank.
What's that Trevor Bank week? I know you mentioned
it. I think it was. I thought it was the Brown game. Yeah, no, listen, the expectations are that we're going to be another contender this year. So you don't want to hear these bad plays. You want to hear all the good, and you want to hear. Look, I think if they would have finished strong in the 2-minute, which didn't sound like they did on offense, I would feel a lot better. And the whole thing, I'm not that worried. I'm a little worried about the O-line, the health, and the O-line in general. But overall, I'm not concerned about how anything went down. I'm glad they're healthy. I am looking forward to seeing these backups play. They got to make their mark. It's a big thing. Like the one good thing about these practices, the backups, normally you wouldn't see time till fourth quarter because the starters would play in the game, and then they're taking the half, and by the time you get in there, you get to play. Like you get a chance to really show if you can play, even if it's against their backups. It matters.
Well, and the Jags are relatively healthy.
Yeah,
except for
the
2
O-line.
projected starters out of 5 on the O-line, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, and really, and the primary backup to one of those starters, right? Cole Van Lannon out,
right?
Walker Little out. Yeah. McCary hasn't practiced in team drills.
That's 3.
And maybe that those guys will all, maybe not Cole Van Lannon because he's obviously they paid him. That's their guy, but. Maybe somebody else will rise up and show us that they're more capable than those others. But until I see that, consistently, I'm going to have that worry in the back of my mind.
I'm worried about McCary. I think the back's bothering him, and the reason I worry because I just remember our good friend, a former center, Mike Cheever, with his back problem. Like he thought he was great first hit, it was over. And it's just so hard to play with a bad back. And I don't know. Hopefully it's going to heal and he's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But man, you can't, especially guard. You can't do anything with a bad back. But you can't play guard. You can't play up front with a ailing back. And it just felt like he was grabbing his back a lot. during this off season, during camp, like something triggered it or something. So,
well, he was dealing with it all last year.
Yeah.
And apparently it hadn't completely gone away. By the way, I have checked now, Tommy, and I am tickled that you are bothered enough by the Everbank thing that you remembered the opponent.
Did I? Yeah, I was
in the
bothered by that.
Cleveland Browns.
I was like, what the hell?
Tom hated that.
I mean, he didn't do anything yet. Why would you name the
Hated that.
stadium?
I don't think that was
That was a
Trevor's
gimmick.
choice.
No.
Right? And it was like, all right, this is what we're going to do.
He
And
needs to learn to say no. Like, yeah, I'm not doing it.
Right. And at this point, he can say no to pretty much anything he wants to.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
it'll be
Trevor,
okay.
why don't you do this? No.
18-13, the Browns beat him that
Yeah, I
day.
remember. It was a terrible day. And you put a bad omen with the Trevor Bank or whatever it was.
All right, you know what? We're going to wash all that away. We're going to come out and smack them 34-13 to
There
open
you
up
go.
the season. And
Nice.
if you remember that score, if in case it happens.
34-13.
34-13.
Let me see my Rain
in
Man
the
brain
opener.
will
Okay,
lock that
and
in.
Anton Harrison is going to dump Jared Verse on his backside.
Ooh.
Couple of times.
He
at least.
better,
Couple
because
of
he's a
pancakes.
lot better than Chase Young, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
He's not as good as the other guy,
No,
Miles
I know.
Garrett,
I
but
know.
he
I
is
know.
pretty good. All right, we'll come back. We'll hear what Liam Coen says about what he wants to see from his reserves tomorrow, and then we'll close up shop for the day. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care. Official dental partner of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Want to stretch that dollar? Taylor Doll here to help save you money with the Money Pages magazine and app. Trying to figure out dinner? Money Pages has deals at your favorite local restaurants. Need auto repairs or an oil change? Money Pages has coupons to help you save. Looking to do some home improvement projects? Money Pages has deals on everything home, from AC repair and plumbing to flooring and painting. Check your mailbox for Money Pages today and download the app for savings on the go.
There's a simpler and easier way to get your construction permits. PermitRockstar.com. PermitRockstar.com has a team of rock stars, construction rock stars that fight the permit battle for you. The Permit Rockstar platform can virtually automate and submit your permit paperwork, eliminating mistakes, and their private provider can save you weeks on plan reviews and virtual inspections. Get your permits faster. PermitRockstar.com. Stop waiting on permits and get back to building. PermitRockstar.com.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
It's back to school season. Get a brand new fence from Superior Fence and Rail. For a limited time, get free takedown and haul away of your old fence. A $500 value with your new fence purchase. Offer valid on residential projects of 100 plus linear feet. Call today or visit SuperiorFenceandRail.com. SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
I've worked with a lot of advertisers over the years, and you learn pretty quickly which ones are selling something and which ones actually care what happens after the sale. I'm Greg Gajewski, and when Awaken 180 first came to 1010XL, it started with Mike Dempsey, then Matt Hayes. From that first call, they wanted to understand our audience, not just buy a schedule. I talked with Paige, learned how the program worked, and at one point said, we got a guy, hacker, that could really use this. And her answer was immediate, let's help him. That's their entire mission. That's always been their answer. No revolving door, no corporate runaround. Paige never franchised Awaken 180 because she wants every coach, client, and endorser to feel supported. I saw that as a business partner, and then I experienced it myself. I went on the program and lost 50 pounds. That's why I endorse Awaken 180, not just because they're a 1010XL client, but because they care about people, and you feel it every day. Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken180weightloss.com.
The kids are back in school. Now it's time to take care of you. At the First Coast YMCA, we're here to help build healthy habits that fit real life. Whether you're working towards better health, managing stress, or simply looking for a place to belong, the Y is here for you. We'll encourage support and celebrate all your progress, because when adults are healthier, stronger, and more connected, families thrive too. Getting started is easier than ever. Now with your rate. Learn more at fcymca.org.
It's about to get real. Training camp is on. Listen to 1010XL throughout the day for all the details and analysis of the passes, runs, and defensive performances. 1010XL's coverage of training camp is brought to you by Green Acres Sporting Goods.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. You're Mackin' with Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
All right, final few minutes of the program today. XL Primetime coming up. One more thought here from Liam Coen. We're going to see a bunch of reserves tomorrow. So what does he want to see from those Jaguars backups on Saturday?
With limited overall reps throughout a training camp is, look, we're going to keep it fairly simple in terms of the formations, the motions, the coverages, the calls. I just want to see a clean operation. I mean, that, and then just go play. Like, let's see who is going to be the guy that's going to go make plays when it's not perfect, right? We're not getting a ton of reps at maybe this play, and it gets right. Well, can they fix it? Can they fix any problems on Saturday that maybe we haven't shown them? Who can do that? Operation, and then who's going to win some one-on-one matchups, whether it's one-on-one pass pro, whether it's I'm covering the guy one-on-one, whether I got to defeat a one-on-one matchup at receiver. Like, who's going to go do that?
All right, I would have put Milam on the top of my list today, the Chet and Sandy real estate question of the day, asking with the starters not expected to go, which Jacksonville Jaguar are you most interested in watching when they face the New Orleans Saints tomorrow? There are more than one, but I'll give one so we can each get one in here. I'm going to go with Josh Cameron.
Okay. Top of my list, too.
Yeah, I mean, how does he look in the return game? Can he challenge Parker Washington there and or at least give you a viable alternative if they want to take a little bit of that off Parker's plate? And how good does he look in the passing game as well? What does he look like running after the catch? I mean, at 225 pounds, he is a load to bring down. He looks like a full-grown man out there on the practice field, and I want to see, just what he can do. Can he stretch the field a little bit? Is it all underneath stuff? But very interesting because I think Josh Cameron has a chance to have a not insignificant role on this football team.
I will mention another rookie because I've heard and seen so little from him to this point in camp, Tommy, but I think he'll be playing plenty tonight, and that's Wesley Williams, right? Okay. Defensive end, I'd like to not necessarily need to see him flash, but whenever 90 is on the field, that's where my eyes are likely to be when he's out there, just to see what's going on with those reps for him. But Cameron was the top guy on my list as well, just what he can do offensively and in special teams and what exactly that's going to look like for him. I'm all kinds of curious to see.
I'm gonna, he's got to step up. I think Williams got to show that he's got the goods. I don't think he's done that just yet. I'm going to go with an interior defensive line men, if I may. Regis, Dickerson, Aroro, and Bohanna. One of those four has got to really step up. And it's got to be Regis and Dickerson to me. And Aroro, I mean, they brought him here for a reason, second-round pick. That Dickerson, though, man, he's a feisty cat. I think he's going to come to play. But I want to see if Regis has got the goods, or more than one of those guys, see if those guys stand out tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Regis has struggled in camp.
He did early.
Right, until recently. And, but it doesn't take much to read between the lines. Liam Coen's like, hey, the last couple times out prior to him picking it up weren't up to my standard, his standard, so he's got to get better. This is a third-round pick, man. These are guys that need to come in and contribute to your team, not necessarily start, but contribute right away.
And it's not a direct comparison, but I'll never forget lining up against the Saints starting O-line as like one of their scout team guys in camp, and they were so big and fast compared to college. As to collect. The guards and centers were massive, and they got up on you really quick. And it was like a total challenge to get used to that speed and power right away. You had to, like, read better, key better, take a little different angle, maybe do some different things. But initially, you're like, and I think that for, like, Regis, like, you're going against these guys that are way stronger than in college for the most part.
Sure.
Overall. So it takes a little bit of time. That technique, they're trying to teach you the technique, how to defeat the double team, how to defeat that power. And I think that's why you're seeing him get a little bit better as camp has gone on. He's getting used to that power and speed in front of him.
Here are some of the replies we got to the question of the day. People are interested in seeing Caleb Bransall. A lot of that today.
Can he play safety?
Yeah, the defensive ends, whomever they may be out there. The rookie tight ends, Regis and Dickerson, to your point, Tommy. C.J. Williams and Josh Cameron, especially in the return game. Yep. LaQuint Allen. The entire rookie draft class, said Elijah. Let's see, Joey Aguilar. And whoever is on the depleted offensive line in the rookie class. I don't know if Mike is a Tennessee fan or what have you, but, they do say that Nick Mullins looked better yesterday.
He seemed to look better yesterday.
But I'm curious to see how all these quarterbacks play. Is there which one of them sticks around on the practice squad? Is it Carter Bradley? Is it Joey Aguilar? Is it both of them?
Yeah.
Carter's
shown a pretty good arm. Aguilar's got more athleticism, but Carter's got a nice arm. He's got a nice release. He's thrown some good balls overall.
Although
when given the opportunity.
You would think that, and who knows, maybe they go Mullins for a half and one of these other guys for a half tomorrow, and then they switch it up next week. So I can't be sure what the playing time is going to be like. Pregnon from Ed, I don't think he's going to play.
No. Shame.
I think there's going to be super selective. RJ said, can the young lineman, not our RJ, take a step forward? Milan, Pregnon, and Monheim. I don't think you're going to see any of them out there.
Monheim, maybe.
I don't know.
Monheim?
I don't know. I mean, if you're treating Milam like a starter right now, because if you played, he probably would be. Wouldn't Monheim be your right guard today? I mean, if McCary's not available, if Walker Little's not available, if Cole Van Lanta's not available, I don't know if we're going to see Monheim.
You risk putting Monheim out there.
I mean, right now.
Well, that's it. That's it. You don't want anybody else to get hurt, right? So you do have that little fear factor.
Right, but at the same time, you got to get out there and play and develop these guys. All right, our time is done for today, so let's say hello to XL Prime Time.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Big Sirs.
Gentlemen, how you
What
doing?
up, sir?
T-Mac, what up, baby?
Looking good, man.
All right.
All right, so we've got what passes for a preseason game tomorrow. All right, a lot of backups going to be going out for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Give me one in particular that you're looking to see how they perform tomorrow.
Wow. I would usually say offensive line, but I don't know
who's going to play.
Who's going to play?
Yeah.
That would have been. I would have been most interested in watching Wyatt Milam, but apparently Brian Sexton doesn't think we'll see him at all. So
really, wow, man. Anton Harris is not playing either. Is he?
No. The definite starters are not playing. I mean, so which backup are you? It doesn't have to be an offensive lineman. Yeah.
Let's Tramble. How about that? Training camp Tramble.
Okay.
There you go. Austin Trammell.
Enjoy him while you can, because the training camp is when you get to see him.
Yeah.
That is true.
I mean, and Matt Hayes' fixation with him is unbelievable to me. The guy's caught 11 passes in 5 years, but he makes plays against
He's a training camp warrior, though.
He is a training camp warrior.
He's a training camp warrior.
And I'm sure he'll get called up for 1 or 2 games off the practice squad again this year.
Yeah. But, just catch the punt.
He's resilient.
God bless him.
He's resilient.
Right to the
Austin Trammell. I mean, look, he's an NFL caliber player, but man, just that where does he fit in on this depth chart?
Yeah.
I just can't see it.
The young wideouts are above him right now, I think.
A bunch.
Yeah. No, at least the two.
The two rookie. Oh yeah,
the rookie guys are.
And I count. I mean, you can play the semantics with is Hunter a defensive back or a wide receiver? You know he's a wide receiver as well as a defensive back. So he's ahead of you. And he's not going to be your primary return guy. I just don't know where he. If everyone's healthy, he can.
He's a backup punt returner. Is what he is. So if he can fill that void, then
right. Is he a backup to the backup though? Like, is it right now?
Yeah, Cameron.
Is Cameron the number 2?
Yeah. Well, Cameron's the punt returner. I don't think.
Well, for tomorrow he is.
Yeah, right.
Parker Washington's the punt returner according to that depth chart.
That's true.
Until and unless they update that. Anyway, Sirs, what's coming up today?
Well, we're going to talk Jags and we're going to talk the games from yesterday.
All right.
That was a lot.
Had a half dozen of them to look at, man.
Yeah, we did.
All right, have a good show.
Appreciate it.
Have a good
All
weekend.
right.
We'll see you Monday. Definitely stick around here. 1010XL will have coverage of everything all day from New Orleans and what went down yesterday with the Saints. And, of course, tomorrow we're on the air at 1 o'clock with the Publix pregame all the way through postgame, wrapping things up for the first preseason encounter of the year. Almost.
Yeah.
It's almost
It's
here.
getting here.
Kind of close to being
we're
here.
catching it along.
Kind of closer to being here. All right, that'll do it for us today. For Tom McManus, Tony Smith, and RJ Saunders, thanks to Brian Sexton for joining us live from New Orleans earlier today. I'm Mike Dempsey. Have a great day from all of us here at